Hi, Stephanie. How you doing today?
I am great, Chris. Thank you so much for making time for me today.
Thanks for making time for me. I appreciate having you on Where Are You Going with Chris. And so let's just jump right in. I have a quick question. What sort of advice would you give your agents currently to help them maybe produce a little bit more? Because I know it's a little bit tougher out there.
You know, it is tough. And what I'm hearing across the board is that everyone's business is struggling at some point. I think one of the things about that is that it takes away that feeling of isolation. If feeling like my business is the only one that stings right now. And it really helps encourage and then sharpen you to be able to go back and do the things that you know are going to grow your business.
Yeah. And so what's something in your position that people don't take advantage of as much as they should?
That's a great question. In my position, I would say they don't use the open door policy that I have. I'm here to listen, whether it's family, business, person, whatever, about their dogs, their cats, all of that. And so a lot of times when I'm doing what I call care calls, which I do on Fridays, where I'm checking on everybody for no reason except because I care about them. When I start understanding what they're really going through, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, had you come in here 2 weeks ago, I could have helped you with that. And so I think really that people, especially post-COVID, are not used to having somebody really care about them as a person. And they're not used to relationships outside of transactional relationships, especially real estate.
Would you say that you're part of your team leadership and that orientation from helping people and holding them closely is the term I like to use a lot? Is that something that comes naturally from the heart? It sounds like it does because, your podcast that you're switching to is dedicated to, this close-knit caring and compassion. And I suspect, and I could be wrong, I'm wrong all the time anyway, but that bleeds over into your job, right? We are, we're all parts of a whole.
100%. That's who I am in my core. And so I'm fairly new as a team leader here. And so I have agents that are genuinely shocked that I stop and I remember things that they've told me, and I check on them and say, how is your dog? How's your business? And I'm not just asking them transaction questions. I'm saying, how can I help you? I'm present for you.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's a lot of Keller Williams, the most successful people inside of Keller Williams. And we've done quite a few interviews. We've done, and I talk to people. I'm in MAPS coaching. I do these things. But it's the people that care that succeed.
Right.
It's an old adage in real estate sales is, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's the truth. It's just the truth, man. Nobody cares if you're the smartest guy in the room if they don't feel like you care about them at all. Sales is the most honest, intimate form of business, in my opinion, because you have to really, really care. Almost every single great salesman I've ever met truly cares about their product, truly cares about the people, truly cares. And I think it shines through, especially in our leadership. When I was in a beginning agent leadership, they call me, they this, they that. And until I became more engrossed in like the true culture of Keller Williams, I really didn't discover how much leadership actually has to care. How much leadership's out there on the front line. And that's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because the fact of the matter is you guys should be highlighted, right? It's a hard job. And I've had other team leaders, as we talk and have conversations afterwards, they're like, I'm crying. I'm worried about my people. I want to know what's going on with them. And it's a weird thing because you're not like their family, but you are. You're not like, you can't just be like, I care for you, I'm here for you, because it seems weird, but it's not. And they all do it. The best ones do it at a high level. It's been a really eye-opening journey.
I had a recruiting appointment probably a month ago. We have a gorgeous office, beautiful conference rooms and everything. And she was coming in as a recruit. She wanted to know about Keller Williams. And she had interviewed at all the big brokerages. And what sold her on our office, she said, you are the only one who walked into the conference room without a folder in your hand. You walked in and just sat across from me and just really was interested in me. And you weren't trying to sell me. Keller Williams. And, that's like a small thing. I didn't even think about it. I mean, it just,
Yeah.
And
if they knew, sorry about that, if they knew how much the mothership actually cares, it's the weirdest thing. They do care. They care about it. I've had many conversations with different levels of leadership because I'm exposed to just a little bit more than I ever was just as an individual agent. And these people, they care what's going on in your life. They care what's going on in these groups. And I don't know, they're so busy and they're still doing it. It's an organization I'm very proud to be a part of.
Me too, Chris. And I'm new. I've only been here almost a year. I've been team leader since February 1st.
Okay.
So I'm new.
Yeah.
I had so much to learn. Oh my gosh. But
there's lots to learn.
Yeah.
But that you care to is the important thing, right? You're in there, you have these fresh eyes and this fresh feeling and these fresh emotions. I think there's something greatly valuable about that. I'm proud of the work you're doing. I'm sure you're doing a wonderful job. It seems like it's, your heart's in the right spot. You're going to be just fine.
Thank you, Chris. That means a lot to me. I love it. I'm having fun. So.
Good. I'm glad.
And what is something that you wish you'd have known sooner in your role?
Everything, all of it. The power of education. Keller Williams, as you know, is an education-based company. And so in order to be what I call the tip of the spear in the industry, you need to be the expert. And so those pieces of education where you're not trying to reinvent the wheel yourself, which I'm very much a driver. It's a challenge to me to be able to reinvent the wheel, but really to go to the places and the sources that have already been created that can help me, be the next rung on the ladder so that I can lead from a better place.
That is a great answer. And that shows that you really, truly care. So we're at the part of the interview where you get to ask me one question.
I love this. Okay, so here's my question for you, Chris. What advice would you give me as a person in my role?
I often find that team leads, sometimes when things are stressful, they try to stay at a distance. And just like when you're with your clients or with anybody else, when things are tough, you want to embrace people. The closer we bring them together, and you actually address that, the closer we bring people together and the more that we're really attached with our people, whether it's on the agent's end as far as their listings or their buyers, especially their listings, because they're sitting out there a little bit longer and they might be in an uncomfortable territory. And so sometimes when they're left in the dark, they feel a little bit scared because it's scary to make those calls. But when you're armed with some of the rules that leadership teaches you, some of the scripts and techniques that we've learned over time, the closer we squeeze those people and the closer we hug them and love them, the longer we get to keep them. That's what I would say. And I would say that in your position as well, because really, Keller Williams, on top of everything else, is we've created a close-knit community. And that's part of coming to the office, and that's part of feeling that energy. And that's a lot of those other positions. Really, it's us coming together. So the closer we come together, the easier we're going to survive this thing and thrive. Half of my roster is in growth mode right now. So it's kind of a blessing. And then getting to hear those stories, it's good. It's good for morale. So we're all in it together. That's what I would say.
I love that. I take that, and I'm going to apply that in my day-to-day. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you, Stephanie. I appreciate you taking the time. And if you need to know where you're going, take a maps. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Montoya.